Okay, I finally have a moment to give an update, and I feel like we've kind of had a couple years in one day. This boy is unbelievable. Overnight he had some hiccups and we were called to the bedside. His blood pressure kept dropping. He was kind of struggling and we weren't sure he was going to make it through the night. Really swollen, kind of catatonic, unresponsive, heart rate still in the 180s. Like we said, blood pressure just getting lower and lower, and it seemed like his heart was starting to give out. But he made it through the night. We went in this morning and we had to have hard conversations again about what's best for William. Not best for us, but best for him. We discussed that having a peaceful death is the most important thing, considering what a disaster his birth was. We discussed that it's not an option to have that anywhere else at this point because he has sepsis and it moves fast and furious and dangerously. Thankfully, we weren't at that point yet, but it was pretty darn close. Thank God we have a team that works with us, that's open with us, that's honest with us. We have had so many staff here that have been working and talking with us and checking in on us, and like the love and support here has been unbelievably incredible. I can't say enough. I know it all depends on the day. I know it all depends on the situation, but holy macro, the love and the support from all our friends and family and all the staff and friends here at the hospital, mind-boggling. We brought his big sister up so that she could see and understand the reality of how awful things really were, how dark they were, and the possibilities that were going on. We also started to push and say a little bit like, okay, we're getting the blood pressure is kind of stabilized a little bit, but I'm worried about the belly. It's still, his belly was really distended, and I know that way TMI for everybody, but one of the biggest things that I'm always keeping track of is his bowel movements. He's had a urinary catheter since yesterday morning. I knew that was down and it was very concentrated. We could see the color, but I also was really concerned that he had not had a bowel movement, or not a significant enough one, knowing that I knew that he had stool in there. So we started to push and we started to discuss, and in discussion with his nurse, it was, I said my biggest concern is that we can't vent his J tube because he has a straight J that goes just to his intestines. So we can't vent his stomach, but you can tell that it's really sensitive to the top and it's really ballooned up. It's really distended. So thank goodness she had been thinking the same thing. She brought in the staff and they decided, you know what, we're going to start looking at this now. And because he's kind of stabilized in a spot that we're still really serious, we're still really scary, and nothing in the blood cultures had come back, nothing in like the swabs and everything, nothing was showing. So still needing to figure out, and I'd having these concerns that something in his stomach, so if he has that J tube, it's just a Foley catheter that I insert, or we've had a couple occasions where nurses have inserted for us, or different things. But it's just a Foley, and that we put it in by feel of where it's supposed to go. And I'd had some concern that the last little while it's been getting harder and harder for me to put the Foley in. The stoma's been getting tighter and he's been getting more aggravated and flinching more. So that kind of led us to thinking, you know what, let's check this belly a little bit more. So we had an x-ray. It showed that there was something up. So we decided to do the CT scan. So they took us down, we went down. God love them, they let me go with them. They let me suit up. I got to go to the CT with him because at this point he was starting to get a little responsive on some things, like just a little jolt, but then he would settle down when he heard me. So I held his arms up so that he could go in and out of the CT machine. He was beautiful. We got really, really great images, got upstairs, and then began the consultations with surgery. So there was some thinking that there was something going on around his J-tube site. He had tons of fluid, tons of something all around that J-tube site. And so the thought was there's something in that area that is of serious concern. When the surgeon first came to see us, he was unsure whether or not it was going to be possible to even attempt a surgery, because he had been overnight and all of yesterday and this morning in such bad shape. Honest to goodness, once he saw his sister, once we started venting, so they put kind of an open tube into a bag off of his J tube, and we put an NG in. So we were venting out of his stomach as well, and I'm talking a couple hundred cc's of air, and I'm talking like tons of bile and fluid and lovely stuff coming out, but tons coming out, and that belly he started to get responsive. And all of a sudden it was like he put on the show for this doctor. Like, this kid blows my mind. Like, his sister's there, and you know, we all saw him in the morning, but his sister's there, start to vent, he sees the possibility. He's like, it's like he had saved up all of that fight for when that doctor was there trying to make the decision whether or not he could do the surgery or not. And suddenly our boy starts getting feisty. He starts kind of getting a little aggravated, moving around and getting attention and making sounds and looking at the doctor, looking at me. And he was able to just, you know, move a little bit more. And then his urine started to come out even better color than it had been for all of like the past, you know, 12, 18 hours. Starts looking better while he's there, and he's able to have a good sized bowel movement, which we haven't had in a while. And we were also very blatantly and very brutally honest with the doctor. God bless Dr. Walton. We said, we understand the risk. We know our son may not come out of the OR. We understand that this isn't the way we want him to go. But we also understand at this point, it's either we continue to make plans for his passing, or we take this chance. And we said, knowing that we understand the risk completely, knowing that we do not hold you responsible for saving his life and keeping him alive, that it's about giving him one hell of a chance, we'd be grateful if you would try. And he went from, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, to, okay, maybe I'll poke around, to, let's get it done. And within moments, everything starts getting flurried and flustered around, and everybody's prepping, and it's like, wait a minute, we just got back from CT, but nope, we're loading up the bed again. And they rearranged all of the OR schedules to get him an OR for emergency surgery right away. He was taken down, and we are currently, what are we in? I think we're pretty darn close to going into our 5th hour. Yep, we are in our 5th hour now of surgery, but they came and updated us just a little while ago. Yeah, I'm right outside the OR room, or OR area. They just came and updated us because they knew at this point Mom could possibly be losing her brains. Pretty darn close. They said they can't believe how amazing this kid is. They found the hole. There's a hole in his bowels around his J-tube site. It is not new, but like, this has been a chronic issue, that there has been trauma for years. It's just kind of a matter of time. They've been able to take out the area, the section that has the hole of his bowels. They've been able to take out the old J-tube site. They're going to make a new J-tube site. They're going to remove any of the jejunum that is damaged. He's had some blood products. He's had to have a cuff tray put in, and he is doing amazing. He is blowing them away with his strength. And I know from the bottom of my soul, it's from all the prayers and love and all the well wishes from everybody and the strength that's in that little boy. So we'll let you know when, because we're not out of the woods. We know that. We know that. We've got septic. We've got he is extremely sick, but we actually have some hope now, so that gives us a chance to actually say we have a possibility that this can be a memory in the past that we can get past. So God bless everybody for everything. Our community that stepped forward is just mind-boggling. I have heard from so many people. Keith has heard from so many people. We've had people that are showing support with all sorts of ways that are just, I just can't believe I was planning all of that this morning, and now we have hope. So I'm gonna end this because it's gotten too long, and thank you everybody. Fingers, toes, and eyes crossed, but one way or another, just having a little bit of hope for a little while is the best thing in the world. So thank you. Love you all. Bye.